Your soulmate is trying to reach you right now. It's urgent. Open this before it's too late. Don't scroll, stay right here with me, because this message is for you and your heart needs this right now, even if you're trying to keep going like nothing is happening, even if you're telling yourself you're fine, grounded, busy, or overthinking too much to listen. Listen to this carefully. This isn't about panic or fear, and it's not about something breaking if you miss a step. This urgency is different. It's gentle but persistent, like a quiet knock on the door of your awareness that keeps returning no matter how many times you distract yourself. Somewhere, at this very moment, your soulmate felt a shift they couldn't ignore. It wasn't planned. It didn't come from logic. It arrived as a sudden realization, a wave of emotion, a tightening in the chest, a memory resurfacing without warning, and when that happens, the soul tries to reach out before the mind has time to shut it down. Stay till the end, because understanding what's happening right now will change how you receive the next moment instead of reacting to it. Your soulmate didn't wake up today thinking they would feel this way. Something interrupted their routine, their distraction, their avoidance. A thought of you arrived with weight, not nostalgia, not fantasy, but truth. And truth carries urgency because it doesn't linger quietly when it's ready to be acknowledged. This message is for you because soul connections don't need phones or words to communicate. They move through awareness. You may already feel it as restlessness without anxiety, calm mixed with anticipation, or a sense that something is about to happen without knowing what. That's not imagination. That's alignment activating. Don't scroll away from this knowing. When one soul reaches out internally, the other soul receives the signal as sensation before understanding. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you've learned to ignore subtle feelings in favor of certainty, but certainty doesn't arrive first in spiritual connections. Feeling does. Listen to this moment closely. You may notice signs stacking around you faster than usual. Repeated numbers catching your eye. 11. 11 appearing when your thoughts drift. 222 reminding you to stay balanced instead of reacting emotionally. 555 signaling movement and change even if the path isn't visible yet. These aren't coincidences meant to confuse you. They're amplifiers, turning up the volume on something that already exists. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't create urgency to frighten you. It creates urgency to prevent missed awareness. Missing awareness doesn't destroy destiny, but it delays alignment, and alignment is what's trying to meet you right now. Your soulmate isn't reaching out because they're desperate or lost. They're reaching out because something inside them broke open. A truth they postponed can no longer be postponed. A feeling they buried can no longer be buried. And when that happens, the soul seeks resonance before the ego regains control. This message is for you because you are the resonance. Listen to this carefully. You don't need to do anything dramatic. You don't need to rush, chase, or force communication. The opening happens internally first. Receiving happens through presence. Stay till the end, because presence is what keeps the door open without you pushing it. You might feel tempted to check your phone, replay old conversations, wonder if you should reach out or wait. Pause there. The urgency is not asking for action. It's asking for awareness. Awareness is what allows truth to land without distortion. Don't scroll away from this truth. If you respond from fear, you shrink the moment. If you receive from calm, you expand it. Your heart needs this reminder right now because expansion doesn't come from control, it comes from trust. Listen to this moment closely. Somewhere, your soulmate is standing at an internal crossroads. One path leads back into distraction, avoidance, and silence. The other path leads toward honesty, vulnerability, and potential change. They don't know yet which path they'll choose, but the reach itself matters. It tells you that the connection is alive, active, and responsive to growth. Don't scroll, because here's what most people misunderstand. Urgency does not mean catastrophe if ignored. It means opportunity for clarity if received. Ignoring doesn't end the connection. It simply returns it to waiting mode, heavier and quieter, until awareness catches up again. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you're not being tested. You're being invited. Listen to this carefully. You may feel an unusual calm settling over you as you stay present with this message. That calm is confirmation. Anxiety feels sharp and rushed. Alignment feels steady and grounded. If you're feeling steady, you're receiving correctly. Angel numbers may continue appearing as checkpoints rather than commands. For 44 when you're protected emotionally. 777 when something is aligning behind the scenes without your effort. 888 when balance returns to your emotional world. These signs aren't asking you to decide the future right now. They're asking you to stay open. Don't scroll away from this knowing. Staying open doesn't mean staying available to chaos. It means staying receptive to truth. Your soulmate reaching out energetically doesn't obligate you to meet them halfway before they're ready. It simply signals that something real is happening within them. Listen to this moment closely. You may notice memories surfacing that don't hurt the way they used to. You may think of them without longing, without tension, with a sense of neutrality or compassion. That's growth. That's the foundation of healthy reconnection if it's meant to happen. Your heart needs this reminder right now because reconnection that's meant for you doesn't destabilize you. It grounds you. Don't scroll, because this is where the prophecy sharpens. If your soulmate reaches out physically, with words or action, it will feel intentional, not impulsive. Measured, not chaotic. Honest, not defensive. And if they don't, you will not feel abandoned. You'll feel protected from half-formed truth. Either outcome serves your peace. Listen to this carefully. You are no longer waiting from a place of lack. You are allowing from a place of wholeness. That difference changes everything. The universe does not rush people who are aligned. It meets them. And it is meeting you right now in awareness. Stay till the end, because this moment isn't about what you might miss. It's about what you are ready to receive. You don't need to chase destiny. Destiny recognizes you when you're present. Don't scroll away from this final knowing. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly on time to notice what's happening within you and around you. If this message felt like it spoke directly to you, like the universe paused just long enough to get your attention, then stay connected right here, because what unfolds next will make even more sense when you're listening, and if you want to keep receiving messages like this as your journey continues, subscribe and stay with me in this same flow. Because this wasn't interruption by accident, it was alignment calling your name. Pause for a second and take a breath, because what's unfolding now is quieter but deeper, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now, even if you're telling yourself you already understood the situation. Listen closely. After that initial surge of urgency, after the feeling that something was trying to reach you, the energy didn't disappear, it settled. And when energy settles instead of vanishing, it means something real has taken root. This is the stage where the soul speaks without noise. Somewhere, your soulmate is sitting with a truth that refuses to be pushed back down. The first wave was emotion, the second wave is reflection. They are replaying moments, words they didn't say, chances they postponed, and feelings they thought time would erase. Time didn't erase them. It clarified them. Your heart needs this reminder right now because clarity doesn't arrive loudly, it arrives persistently. You may feel it as a steady awareness rather than a rush, like a knowing that doesn't need proof. You might notice that your body feels calmer than your thoughts, that your intuition feels ahead of your logic. That's because the soul receives before the mind catches up. This message is for you because you're sensitive enough to notice that shift. Don't rush past this moment. When the energy slows down like this, it's because alignment is being tested, not connection. Listen to this carefully. Your soulmate isn't reaching out in panic anymore. They're reaching out in contemplation. There's a difference. Panic seeks relief. Contemplation seeks truth. And truth takes longer because it requires courage. Somewhere inside them, they're asking themselves hard questions. Why now? Why you? Why this feeling that won't let them stay comfortable anymore? They may feel torn between staying silent and stepping forward. Silence feels safer. Honesty feels real. That internal tension is what you're sensing. Your heart needs this reminder right now because sensing doesn't mean you're meant to solve it. You are meant to stay present. As this phase unfolds, you may notice subtle signs around you, not dramatic, not flashy, but precise. You glance at the clock at the same time every day. A song with a familiar message plays unexpectedly. A phrase you needed to hear shows up in a random conversation. Angel numbers may still appear, but now they feel conversational rather than urgent. 222 when you're being reminded to stay balanced and not jump ahead emotionally. 333 when you're being supported while things are aligning behind the scenes. 777 when something meaningful is unfolding without your intervention. These aren't instructions to act. They're confirmations that you're not imagining what you feel. Your heart needs this reminder right now because validation from the universe is quieter than validation from people, but it's more reliable. Listen closely. You may also notice that you're no longer checking for signs the way you used to. You're noticing them as they pass, without attachment. That's a sign of emotional maturity. You're not hungry for reassurance. You're receptive to truth. There's a big difference. Somewhere, your soulmate is realizing that they can't reach you the way they once could, not because you shut down, but because you've stabilized. Emotional stability changes the entire dynamic. It removes urgency from you and places it where it belongs, inside them. Your heart needs this reminder right now because urgency that belongs to someone else is not yours to carry. As they sit with their truth, they may hesitate. They may rehearse conversations in their head. They may feel the pull to reach out and then stop themselves. That hesitation doesn't mean lack of feeling. It means fear of consequence. Growth always comes with consequence, change, vulnerability, responsibility. And not everyone moves toward it at the same pace. Listen carefully to what you're feeling now. You may feel less anxious, less attached to outcome, less concerned with when, and more comfortable with if. That shift is not detachment from love, it's attachment to self-respect. Your heart needs this reminder right now because love that's meant for you does not require you to abandon yourself while waiting. As this stage continues, you may feel an urge to simplify, fewer emotional loops, fewer imagined scenarios, fewer explanations. You don't feel the need to narrate your feelings to yourself anymore. You're just living them. That simplicity is protection. It keeps you from interfering with what's trying to align naturally. Somewhere, your soulmate is feeling the contrast between their internal chaos and your calm. And that contrast is uncomfortable, but it's also instructive. It shows them what emotional alignment looks like from the outside. Whether they choose to learn from it or resist it is their decision. Your heart needs this reminder right now because your growth is not dependent on their choice. Listen closely. If contact happens during this phase, it will feel different. Slower. More intentional. Less dramatic. If it doesn't happen, you won't feel abandoned, you'll feel held. That's how you know you're no longer operating from fear. Fear demands answers. Alignment allows timing. Angel numbers may shift again. 888 when balance is restored in your emotional world. 999 when an old karmic loop is completing quietly. These are acknowledgments, not countdowns. They're telling you that something old is closing even as something new prepares to open. Your heart needs this reminder right now because endings don't always come with goodbyes. Sometimes they come with peace. As this awareness settles, you may feel a deeper trust in yourself than you've ever felt before. You trust your ability to stay present. You trust your ability to handle whatever comes next. You trust that you won't lose yourself again for the sake of connection. That trust is the real gift of this phase. Listen carefully. The universe doesn't rush people who are aligned. It matches them. And right now, it's matching you with clarity, patience, and self-honoring awareness. Whatever unfolds from here will meet you where you are now, not where you used to be when uncertainty ruled you. Stay with this steadiness. Let it anchor you. You're not missing anything. You're integrating everything. Sit with this for a moment, because what's happening now is subtle but powerful, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now even if nothing dramatic seems to be happening on the outside. Listen carefully. After urgency fades and contemplation settles, there is always a third phase that most people miss, the phase where truth starts rearranging reality quietly. This is that phase. You may not feel restless anymore. You may not feel pulled in opposite directions. Instead, there's a steady awareness forming inside you, like you're standing on solid ground after a long emotional storm. That steadiness is not boredom. It's integration. Somewhere, your soulmate is experiencing the opposite. Their inner world feels louder now because the distractions they once used to avoid their feelings aren't working the same way. The initial emotional surge made them aware. The second wave forced reflection. And now, the third wave is asking for honesty. Honesty is always the hardest part, because it doesn't just acknowledge feeling, it acknowledges responsibility. Your heart needs this reminder right now because responsibility is not yours to carry for anyone else. Listen to this moment closely. You might sense a strange reversal happening. Before, you were the one waiting, wondering, feeling the pull. Now, without effort, the weight has shifted. You're grounded. They're unsettled. You're calm. They're questioning. That reversal isn't punishment. It's balance restoring itself. When one soul stops chasing clarity, clarity begins to chase truth. Don't rush past this understanding. The reason you feel less emotional urgency now is because your nervous system recognizes safety. Safety doesn't feel exciting. It feels quiet. It feels stable. It feels like you don't have to prove or explain anything anymore. Your heart needs this reminder right now because many people mistake peace for loss, when in reality, peace is alignment. Somewhere, your soulmate is feeling the absence of your emotional energy more strongly than they ever felt your presence. Not because you disappeared, but because you stopped supplying reassurance, reaction, and emotional labor. That absence forces introspection. It forces them to sit with themselves instead of leaning on the connection unconsciously. Listen carefully. This is where people often reach a crossroads internally. One path leads to growth, owning feelings, speaking honestly, making changes. The other path leads to avoidance, minimizing, rationalizing, convincing themselves they're fine. Both paths feel heavy at first. Growth feels heavy because it demands courage. Avoidance feels heavy because it demands denial. You are not meant to influence which path they choose. Your heart needs this reminder right now because influence without invitation becomes interference. As this phase unfolds, you may notice that your intuition feels sharper but less emotional. You sense things without anxiety attached. You know without obsessing. That's a sign your intuition is no longer entangled with fear. Angel numbers may still appear, but now they arrive as reassurance rather than signals to act. 222 when you're choosing emotional neutrality instead of reaction. 333 when support surrounds you even if you can't see it. 777 when something meaningful is unfolding beyond your awareness. These signs aren't asking you to move. They're asking you to stay where you are, centered. Listen to this moment closely. You may also notice that memories surface differently now. When you think of your soulmate, it doesn't knock the breath out of you. It doesn't create longing or regret. It feels observational, like you're remembering something important without needing to relive it. That's healing. Healing doesn't erase memory, it removes charge. Your heart needs this reminder right now because charge is what keeps people stuck in loops. And you stepped out of the loop quietly. Somewhere, your soulmate may be realizing that the emotional dynamic they relied on no longer exists. They can't provoke a reaction. They can't test boundaries. They can't feel close through tension anymore. And that realization can feel like loss to someone who mistook intensity for connection. Listen carefully. Real connection doesn't need tension to survive. It needs truth. And truth is what's being asked of them now. Don't scroll away from this understanding. The universe doesn't rush truth. It waits until the environment is safe enough for it to emerge. Right now, you are safe. That's why you feel steady. That's why you're not being pushed to act. Safety allows things to unfold without force. Your heart needs this reminder right now because forcing clarity too early often creates regret later. As this phase continues, you may feel less interested in monitoring what's happening between you and them. Your attention shifts inward, toward your own life, your own rhythm, your own sense of direction. That shift is not avoidance. It's alignment. When alignment strengthens, curiosity about uncertainty fades. Listen to this moment closely. You are no longer waiting for a sign to tell you what to do. You are allowing signs to confirm what you already know, that you are capable of staying whole regardless of outcome. That knowledge is stabilizing. Angel numbers may shift again. 888 when balance returns fully. 999 when an old karmic chapter is preparing to close without confrontation. These aren't countdowns. They're acknowledgments that something is resolving itself naturally. Your heart needs this reminder right now because natural resolution leaves less scar tissue than forced endings. Somewhere, your soulmate is feeling the pressure of that resolution. Not from you, but from themselves. When emotions are no longer numbed, they surface with clarity. They may feel regret, longing, confusion, or sudden resolve. You don't need to predict which. You don't need to prepare. Whatever they choose will reveal itself in time. Listen carefully. If they step forward, it will feel grounded, not chaotic. Intentional, not impulsive. If they don't, you will not feel rejected, you will feel affirmed in your growth. That's the difference alignment makes. Don't scroll away from this truth. You are no longer defined by someone else's readiness. You are defined by your own awareness. And awareness attracts experiences that match it. As this phase settles, you may feel a quiet confidence building. Not the kind that announces itself, but the kind that allows you to breathe deeper, sleep better, and move through your days without emotional tension. That confidence is earned. It came from choosing presence over panic, self-respect over self-abandonment. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you did not lose anything by staying aware. You gained clarity, peace, and emotional independence. And those qualities shape the future in ways you can't yet see. Stay with this steadiness. Let it anchor you. Whatever unfolds next will meet you here, in calm, not chaos, in truth, not confusion, in alignment, not urgency. Before you move on to the next thought, let this land gently, because what's happening now is quieter than before but far more decisive, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now even if everything around you looks normal on the surface. Listen to this carefully. There comes a phase in every deep soul connection where the noise fully drops away, not because nothing is happening, but because something irreversible has already shifted. This is that phase. You may notice that you're no longer scanning for meaning in every small sign, no longer replaying conversations, no longer wondering what you did wrong or what you should have done differently. That mental loop has softened, and that's not because you stopped caring. It's because you stopped negotiating with uncertainty. Somewhere inside you, a quiet decision has already been made: you will not abandon your peace again. Your heart needs this reminder right now because peace is not the absence of love, it's the presence of self-respect. Listen closely. While you are settling into this grounded state, your soulmate is experiencing a delayed reaction. Emotional realizations don't always hit people at the same time. Sometimes awareness arrives only after the other person stops holding the emotional weight of the connection. Without your emotional energy stabilizing the space, everything they avoided starts rising to the surface. They may feel a sense of emptiness they can't name, a restlessness that doesn't go away even when they distract themselves, or a sudden awareness that something important slipped out of their control quietly. That awareness can feel unsettling, even frightening, because it removes the illusion that time alone fixes things. Time only reveals what's already true. Your heart needs this reminder right now because revelation doesn't require your participation. It unfolds on its own schedule. Listen to this moment closely. You may notice that your intuition has become less emotional and more factual. You don't feel as much turbulence, but you know more clearly. Knowing feels calm. Knowing doesn't beg for confirmation. Knowing doesn't chase reassurance. It simply exists. That shift means your nervous system has stopped treating the connection as a threat or a source of instability. Safety has returned internally. And when safety returns, you stop reaching outward for grounding. Somewhere, your soulmate is noticing that shift energetically. They may not consciously understand it, but they feel the absence of your emotional availability in the way they once relied on. That absence forces them to face themselves without buffer. Listen carefully. This is often the point where people realize the difference between connection and convenience. Convenience thrives when someone else is emotionally available without boundaries. Connection requires mutual presence, honesty, and accountability. You stepped into connection energy by stepping back from convenience. Your heart needs this reminder right now because stepping back was not withdrawal, it was alignment. As this phase deepens, you may feel less reactive to thoughts of them. Memories surface, but they don't hijack your mood. You can think of them and still feel centered in yourself. That neutrality is powerful. It means the emotional charge has dissolved. And when charge dissolves, truth becomes visible. Angel numbers may still appear, but now they feel like gentle nods rather than urgent messages. For 44 reminding you that you are protected in your boundaries. 666 appearing not as warning, but as balance, bringing you back into yourself when thoughts drift outward. 888 signaling that emotional equilibrium has been restored. These signs are not asking you to move toward anyone. They are confirming that you are standing exactly where you need to be. Your heart needs this reminder right now because stillness is not stagnation. Stillness is readiness. Listen closely. Somewhere, your soulmate may be experiencing moments of regret mixed with hesitation. Regret without action feels heavy. Hesitation without clarity feels confusing. They may want to reach out but fear disrupting your peace or confronting their own inconsistencies. That fear is theirs to navigate. You are not meant to rescue anyone from their own growth process. Growth requires discomfort. And discomfort is what teaches people to choose differently next time. Don't rush past this understanding. If they do reach out from this place, it will feel different. There will be less performance, less explanation, less defensiveness. It will feel slower, more sincere, more vulnerable. If they don't, you will not feel rejected. You will feel confirmed in your decision to prioritize your inner stability. That's how you know you've healed beyond attachment. Your heart needs this reminder right now because attachment asks, will they choose me? Alignment asks, am I choosing myself? And you already know the answer to that. As this stage continues, you may feel drawn to simplify your emotional world even further. Fewer conversations about the past. Less interest in analyzing what went wrong. More focus on what feels nourishing, steady, and real in the present. That simplification is wisdom. Wisdom doesn't overcomplicate. It clarifies. Listen to this moment carefully. You are not missing signs. You are embodying them. When you live from alignment, signs stop shouting because they no longer need to redirect you. They simply accompany you. Angel numbers may fade in intensity as your inner guidance strengthens. That's not a loss of connection, it's integration. The universe speaks less when you're listening more to yourself. Your heart needs this reminder right now because external validation was never meant to replace inner certainty. Somewhere, your soulmate is learning that lesson the harder way. Without access to your emotional reassurance, they must sit with their own feelings fully. They may feel drawn toward honesty but afraid of consequence. That tension is not yours to resolve. It's part of their awakening. Awakening doesn't always look spiritual or graceful. Sometimes it looks like confusion before clarity. Listen closely. You may notice a subtle confidence emerging in you, not arrogance, not detachment, but trust. Trust that you will be okay regardless of outcome. Trust that you can handle truth if it arrives. Trust that you no longer need to manipulate timing or meaning. That trust is the foundation of healthy love. Your heart needs this reminder right now because healthy love never asks you to shrink, wait in pain, or doubt your worth. As this phase settles, you may feel a quiet readiness for whatever comes next. Not anticipation, not expectation, readiness. Readiness means you're open but not empty. Available but not exposed. That balance is rare, and it changes the trajectory of every connection you enter from here on. Listen to this final truth. Whatever your soulmate chooses to do next will meet a version of you who is no longer operating from fear, urgency, or longing. It will meet awareness, calm, and self-respect. That alone changes the outcome, even before anything happens. Stay with this groundedness. Let it anchor you. You are not in limbo. You are in alignment. And alignment always leads somewhere real. Take a moment to notice how quiet everything feels inside you right now, because this quiet is not emptiness, and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now even if you're not actively thinking about them anymore. Listen carefully. There is a stage in every soul connection where silence stops feeling uncomfortable and starts feeling informative. That's where you are now. This is the phase where nothing dramatic needs to happen for everything to be decided energetically. You're no longer asking questions out loud or inside yourself. You're no longer searching for signs to tell you what direction things will go. Instead, there's a calm understanding settling into your body, like you've finally stopped bracing for impact. That calm didn't arrive by accident. It arrived because you stopped betraying yourself emotionally. Your heart needs this reminder right now because emotional self-loyalty changes the entire dynamic of love. Somewhere, your soulmate is beginning to feel the weight of that change more clearly. When you stopped emotionally leaning toward them, the connection didn't disappear, it rebalanced. And rebalancing always reveals who was leaning more than they realized. Listen to this closely. They may feel an unexpected sense of loss, not because you vanished, but because the emotional access they once had is no longer automatic. They can no longer sense your energy reaching out unconsciously. That absence forces awareness. Awareness forces truth. And truth forces choice. This is the moment where many people finally realize what they had only after it stops being emotionally available on demand. Your heart needs this reminder right now because availability without reciprocity is not love, it's depletion. As this phase unfolds, you may notice that your compassion has changed shape. You still care, but it's softer, less urgent, less self-sacrificing. You don't feel the need to save anyone from their emotions or rush their healing. That shift is powerful. It means you've stopped confusing empathy with responsibility. Somewhere, your soulmate is learning that lesson from the opposite side. They may feel compelled to reach out but unsure how, because they sense that whatever they say must now be real. Half-truths won't land anymore. Excuses won't soothe anything. Surface-level contact won't restore what's been lost. That realization can feel intimidating, especially to someone who avoided depth when it mattered most. Listen carefully. This is why things feel suspended rather than resolved. Suspension is not stagnation. It's a pause before truth crystallizes. During this pause, you are not meant to do anything except stay present with yourself. The universe is not asking you to wait, it's asking you to remain aligned. Alignment is active even when nothing moves externally. Your heart needs this reminder right now because alignment is what protects you from repeating old patterns when new opportunities appear. As the days pass, you may notice your emotional reactions becoming slower. You don't immediately attach meaning to silence or distance. You don't jump to conclusions. You let things exist without labeling them. That emotional patience is a sign of deep healing. It means your nervous system no longer associates uncertainty with danger. And when uncertainty stops feeling dangerous, you stop chasing control. Somewhere, your soulmate is experiencing uncertainty very differently. For them, it may feel uncomfortable, even destabilizing, because they relied on your emotional presence as a constant. Without it, they must confront their own emotional gaps. Listen closely. This is often the stage where people replay moments they took for granted. Small gestures. Conversations that felt ordinary at the time. Emotional safety they assumed would always be there. That replay can trigger regret, but regret alone doesn't fix anything. Only responsibility does. Whether they step into responsibility or retreat from it will define what happens next. Your heart needs this reminder right now because their choice does not define your worth or your future. You may also notice that signs from the universe feel less frequent but more precise. When they appear, they feel personal, almost conversational. Angel numbers may show up at moments when you're not thinking about the situation at all, reminding you that alignment doesn't require fixation. For 44 when you're being supported in your boundaries. 555 when a shift is occurring beneath the surface. 888 when emotional balance is fully restored within you. These signs are not guiding you toward anyone, they're guiding you back to yourself again and again. Listen to this moment carefully. You're not being prepared for loss. You're being prepared for discernment. Discernment is the ability to recognize what aligns without forcing meaning onto everything. It allows you to respond instead of react. That's why you feel steadier now. Steadiness is not indifference. It's strength. Somewhere, your soulmate may feel the urge to test the waters emotionally, to see if you're still there in the same way. That test may come as indirect contact, subtle signals, or moments of almost reaching out. Whether or not you notice those signals consciously doesn't matter. What matters is that you don't abandon your groundedness in response to them. Your heart needs this reminder right now because you don't owe anyone access to a version of you that no longer exists. If contact happens from this place, it will require sincerity to sustain. If it doesn't happen, you will not feel unfinished, you will feel complete. That's the difference alignment makes. Listen closely. You are not waiting to be chosen anymore. You are observing who is capable of meeting you where you stand now. That observation is calm, not judgmental. It's simply aware. As this phase continues, you may feel an inner readiness that doesn't depend on outcome. Readiness to receive truth. Readiness to move forward. Readiness to let go without bitterness if necessary. That readiness is emotional adulthood. Your heart needs this reminder right now because emotional adulthood attracts connections that don't require you to shrink or struggle. Somewhere, your soulmate is deciding whether they are ready to grow into that space or remain where comfort once lived. That decision belongs to them. And whatever they choose, you are no longer destabilized by it. That is your victory, even if it doesn't feel dramatic. Stay with this calm. Let it anchor you. You are not in between chapters. You are standing at the threshold of a more aligned version of your life, and that threshold does not require urgency, only presence. Before you label this moment as nothing happening, let yourself feel how complete it already is, because this stillness is not an ending and this message is for you in a way your heart needs this right now even if you've stopped expecting anything at all. Listen closely. There comes a final phase in deep soul connections where the energy no longer pulls forward or backward, it settles into truth. Not the kind of truth that demands action, but the kind that reshapes perception permanently. You are here now. You're not waiting. You're not resisting. You're not hoping. You're simply present. And presence is the clearest signal of emotional sovereignty. Your heart needs this reminder right now because sovereignty doesn't announce itself loudly, it reveals itself through peace. Somewhere, your soulmate is feeling the full consequence of that peace. When you stopped reaching energetically, when you stopped filling the silence with emotion, explanation, or longing, you didn't punish the connection, you purified it. What remains now is what's real. And reality is what most people fear facing without distraction. Listen carefully. This is the point where the universe stops orchestrating signs for you and starts watching what others do in response to your groundedness. You may notice that you're no longer looking for closure. Closure has already happened internally. You've closed the loop that once kept you circling questions, replaying moments, wondering what it all meant. Now you know what it meant. It taught you how to stay whole. That lesson was the purpose whether reunion happens or not. Your heart needs this reminder right now because purpose is not always tied to outcome. Sometimes the purpose is transformation. Somewhere, your soulmate is becoming acutely aware that the version of you they once knew is no longer accessible through old patterns. They can't return casually. They can't re-enter without intention. They can't engage halfway and still feel close. That awareness can feel heavy, even frightening, because it demands a level of honesty they may not have practiced before. Listen to this moment closely. You are no longer energetically chasing answers, which means answers now have room to approach you honestly. If they come, they will come clean. If they don't, you won't feel deprived, you'll feel protected. That's the paradox of alignment. It gives you peace first, and clarity follows naturally. Your heart needs this reminder right now because peace is the foundation that supports any future connection that's meant to last. As this phase completes, you may feel a subtle shift in how you imagine love itself. It feels less intense, less dramatic, less consuming, and more stable, reciprocal, and respectful. That shift is not loss of passion. It's maturation of desire. You no longer want love that costs you your nervous system. You want love that expands your life without destabilizing it. Somewhere, your soulmate is confronting that same contrast. They may recognize that what they offered before was not enough. Not because it was malicious, but because it was incomplete. Recognition doesn't always lead to change, but it always leads to awareness. And awareness is irreversible. Listen carefully. This is why things feel settled rather than resolved. Resolution often comes with explanation. Settlement comes with acceptance. You have accepted what you cannot control and claimed what you can, your inner state. That choice is final in the best possible way. Angel numbers may appear one last time as quiet confirmations rather than guidance. 111 reminding you that you're aligned with your truth. 777 acknowledging spiritual integration. 999 signaling completion of a karmic lesson that no longer needs repetition. These are not invitations to act. They are acknowledgments that you've already done the work. Your heart needs this reminder right now because finishing the work internally means you don't have to repeat it externally. If contact happens from this place, it will not disrupt you. It will meet you. If it doesn't, your life will continue unfolding with a steadiness that attracts connections aligned with who you are now, not who you were when uncertainty ruled you. Listen to this carefully. You are no longer available for confusion. You are available for clarity. You are no longer open to emotional guessing games. You are open to truth. That availability changes everything, even when nothing appears to change immediately. Somewhere, your soulmate is either rising to meet that standard or realizing they cannot. Either realization is honest. And honesty is what frees both people, even if their paths diverge. Your heart needs this reminder right now because freedom is not always dramatic. Sometimes it feels like relief you didn't realize you were carrying. As you move forward from this moment, you may feel a deeper trust in yourself than you've ever felt before. Trust that you can handle love without losing yourself. Trust that you can walk away from what doesn't align without bitterness. Trust that what is meant for you will meet you where you are, not demand you return to who you were. That trust is your new baseline. Listen closely. This chapter didn't end in chaos, tears, or confrontation because it wasn't meant to. It ended in awareness. Awareness doesn't shout. It settles. And once it settles, you don't question it anymore. Stay with this calm. Let it guide your next steps without urgency. You are not behind. You are not early. You are exactly where alignment places people who are ready for something real.